last year with people called The Killing of Uncle Sam. And
Right.
it went through Cecil Rhodes and how eventually he went with the Rothschilds and they seduced basically Carnegie and our wealthiest people at J.P. Morgan, etc. So way back in the Carnegie time period, they started putting out these foundations for all the universities as well as the seminaries, to where in order to really kind of survive, they had to get grants from, and you have to teach what they wanted them to teach.
Right.
And so that, you're right, our clergies have been, I mean, our many of our seminaries have been corrupted for a long time.
A long time. And so now this article from Gateway Pundit says the pro-amnesty Southern Baptist Convention is in damage control after pushing open borders and its ties to Soros are exposed. Now, these guys are on their heels right now in defensive posture right now because everybody's been calling them out. And I think at this point, everybody's had it, and they're catching a lot of blowback right now. And so the Gateway Pundit put that out. And so we've already established that the Southern Baptist Convention, the Evangelical Immigration Table, I believe it is the ones that are linked to George Soros. Max Lucado was on that board. I think Rick Warren's name might have been on there. Don't quote me on that. Somebody can come and look that up. There's a lot of names. If you go down to the bottom of that website, Evangelical Immigration Table, they have a list of pastors that are a part of that. That has been pushed. They push open borders. They push and their ties to George Soros. When you're looking at these sanctuary churches, you know these guys are committing unlawful acts. They're going against what the president has said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing Christian about it. There's a reason why these guys are doing it. Again, this goes back, Rick, to what God had told us, that the hordes of chaos have been released and Satan's pastors have been activated. That's it right there. The Southern Baptist Convention.
That's the huge battle we're having right now spiritually. It's
yes. This is the deep state church has been activated. They're calling in. Look, when you sell your soul to the devil, at some point he's going to come back for his dues. Mm-hmm. Now people want to say, "Oh, the American church, they're under attack." You know what I mean? Christianity's under attack. Time out. Is it that, or is it simply the devil coming back for his dues?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're part of the system. I've given you all this money. I've given you all these things. I've given you all these worldly things. This great big congregation of 40,000, this huge mega church. Guess what? I'm punching your time card. It's time for you to now do my agenda. Now, I'm calling it in, which is why they're doing the LGBTQ. He's calling it in.
Yeah, that finding that you just showed, that was Serial Brain 2 only showed the front cover, that you have all 50 pages.
Right.
Are you comfortable with us letting our listeners ask for a copy of that? if they have an email or whatever?
No, I'm fine with that. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to put this on my website where they can download it for free.
Okay, that sounds great. That'll be great. So just let us know when you've done that, because I can help distribute that as well.
I wanted to read the whole thing. I wanted to read the whole thing first to make sure, you know what I mean, before I release it.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I get done reading it, probably this weekend, I'm going to highlight some stuff in there, and probably on the next show, hopefully there's maybe some stuff in here I can bring out on the next show.
Yeah, and we've been talking about the clergy response team. We were hoping we found that list. This could be even more significant, right?
And see, that's what I'm wondering. And say, okay, is this where the clergy response team, FEMA clergy response team, gets launched in there? I don't know. I don't know if it's even in here. It may not be in here. It may not have anything to do with this. You know what I mean? But then again, there may be. Is that where part of the CIA's use of intelligence gathering operations? Because to me, that's where it would launch. Look, if there's any anons out there, I'm going to say this is going to be controversial. And that's fine. If there's any anons out there that are listening that can get their hands on that FEMA clergy response list, DM me on Twitter or get a hold of me through my website on my email, because we would love to have that response list. Because as far as I'm concerned, the people have a right to know who's on that list.
Yeah.
Who are the pastors who were willing and are still willing to hand people over Gestapo style to the FEMA response camps, the FEMA camps, for eradication, basically, is what they were going to do. And they made a deal with FEMA that you would have food, shelter, and clothing and take care of you and your family as long as you got your congregation under control. And when they come around to collect the people, that you get them under control, get them to submit their guns, Second Amendment, and you were to help console them as they're separated in the FEMA camps. To me, that is the biggest form of treason. That's worse than a Pelosi to me, because this is the person you trust the most.
Yeah.
This is your pastor. So to me, that is CIA use as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Type thing. Because, I mean, they're up there in the pulpit And the other thing they were doing also, and this now that I'm sitting here thinking about this, because I forgot about this part, is that the FEMA clergy response team was also supposed to give reports on what their congregation was actually doing to the government. Now, if that's not a spy in the pulpit, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it's interesting. My wife is a dietitian, and she's starting to see that a lot of the stuff she was taught by the American Dietetic Association itself is wrong. And even somebody just mentioned on the comments here is that they even put the Rothschild / CIA people on these boards in the medical community. And the medical community doesn't even get nutrition classes right now. So they come out, a doctor, MD, doesn't even know anything about food and nutrition.
Wow.
So it goes deep into all the areas, but I think you're being called to specifically, Mark, and that's why we're focusing on this, is really exposing the deep state church.
Well, and I think for me, it's mostly the systems, period. And I think that, like you said, the deep state church it's a system, period, which is why, we're coming up with the home groups, the home congregations, which is going global right now, you know what I mean? Which is why we've got the prayer groups going on, OmegaKingdomMinistry.org if you guys are interested in starting your own home group. You want to get out of the church system. They teach a 12-week class for free, and then they release you. I think we got 100 more people fixing to graduate again, so that makes 100 and probably close to 180 people now. We've got home congregations going on.
Yeah, I wanted to show you on swordrescue.com, SORD, no W, SORDrescue.com. You'll see on Mark still, he's got national prayer groups. All down here, you'll see a start home congregation. Yep. So swordrescue.com, SORDrescue.com. It's OmegaMinistry.com, right? So it's a Y, not IES. So there's some fraudulent people doing other stuff, so be careful there. Yep. But I wanted to show you that. If you go to, Mark has a wealth of information on swordrescue.com.
Yep. And I don't know if you want me to change topics here or not. If you want me to stay on this one, I can. It's up to you, bro.
Now keep on. Go to the next one. I think we're good.
All right. John Solomon, this is exciting to me. John Solomon just announced the creation of a brand new news outlet called Just the News. He said we'll be getting started over the next few weeks. So follow us at JTN Reports or visit justthenews.com. That, to me, right there, and I put that, more prophecy coming to pass, more winning. See, that to me, John Solomon's known as a guy of credibility. You know what I mean?
Yes, no question. Yeah.
You can trust him. You know what I mean? So the fact that we've got a new news organization coming, to me, is exciting, man. It really is. It really is.
I love that prophecy when you talk about the news media being a stench to God's nostrils.
Yep, absolutely. And, somebody sent me an email saying that CNN actually agreed with the president on something today. I think it was. And I was like, okay, that's definitely a prophetic word coming to pass. And I know you touched on this last night, man, but to me this is exciting, bro. Zero Hedge puts out this article late yesterday. It was like 11-something at night, the night before, and I didn't catch it till the following day, about Q. This is an incredible article about Q, and it's an introduction to Q. And the thing was 100% accurate.
Yeah, I know. It was awesome, wasn't it?
Oh, my gosh. I'm just like, are you kidding me? This thing was 100% accurate. And here it is, Zero Hedge, which is, they're pretty credibility. They're credible as well. You know what I mean? Zero Hedges, you know what I mean?
It's a big publication with a huge readership, and it was in the National Review before that. I think they just used it. But, wow, what a beautiful...
Well, it was a beautiful article, and it was 100% dead on the money. And it was like, oh, my God. That was exciting to me right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely exciting. That's all I got, unless you want me to...
I got a double sound going here. Just 1 second. Let me fix this. Wow, that was weird. So...
Okay, that's all I got right now, I think, bro, unless you want to start taking some questions, because I know we're running on...
Yeah, there's a lot that was coming up here. One is, what's your thoughts about Pence going to visit the Pope, representing the Trump administration?
That is a little different. I'm talking about religious leaders, not presidential type leaders. Now, we all know why Trump visited the Pope. We saw the picture of the Pope and the president and a couple others next to him, and the Pope wasn't too happy. He had a pretty somber look on his face.
Yeah, he's smiling with Obama, and they're just like two peas in a pod, and then he's just like, man,
he just got this doom and gloom look, like my time has come to an end, and I believe it has. Honestly, I really do.
Yeah.
So some questions, I guess.
Yeah, So you'll see. So